hijacking. We know they called and to tell them of their plans. One passenger called his wife and said, "I know we're all going to die. There's 3 of us who are going to do something about it. I love you, honey." And we know that in the midst of their fear, they were calmed by their faith. A crew member called her husband and told him that they were going to rush the hijackers. Over the phone line, he heard other passengers whispering the 23rd Psalm. "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me." 9 years ago, in the skies above this field, and we saw our enemy and the best of our nation. And we were suddenly reminded of many half-forgotten lessons. We saw that there is evil in the world, but also good at the heart of our country. America was attacked, but the deepest belief of our democracy was vindicated, that our greatness and strength is found in the character of our citizens. Americans responded with heroism and selflessness, with compassion and courage, and with prayer and hope. In our grief, we learned that our faith is an active faith, that we're called to serve and care for one another, and to bring hope and comfort where there's despair and sorrow. We remember 9/11 not only as a day of great loss, but also a day of recommitment to certain enduring values. When the innocent are attacked, Americans defend them. When the innocent suffer, Americans rally to their aid. In the face of terror, Americans chose to overcome evil with good. And it was following the tragic events of that September morning that we saw the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. We saw it here as Shanksville's first responders rushed to this field, and in the endurance of all of those who worked past exhaustion to rescue people trapped in the towers and the Pentagon. And again, as millions of Americans participated in blood drives, candlelight vigils, and memorial services, saying prayers in English, Hebrew, and Arabic. And we found unity in the shared grief. When this field was marked by smoldering ashes, now there is green grass. But the passage of time did not erase the images etched in our minds from that calm September morning. We remember the moment the news came, where we were, and what we were doing. George and I grieved with the families whose loved ones perished on that bright blue morning. We thought about your loss every day that we lived in the White House, and your stories remain close to our hearts. George sends his love. And today we join with all Americans as we pause to remember those most affected by that day. We remember the families and friends of the lost, and we still feel the wound of September 11th. We know the memories of your loved ones have not aged by time. You inspire us with your grace and strength. We remember the law enforcement and intelligence personnel who stand watch on our behalf at every hour. And we remember the men and women of our military who oppose radicalism and terrorism at this very hour in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other places around the world. On this day, Americans have no division. Together, we recall the events that changed each one of us and that united our nation. Together we honor the lost in silence, and we remember that our quiet and peace is always defended by the courage of the brave.